The reason we had Rachel Zegler on the docket is she's an asshole.
And to everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her.
Oh my God.
And I can only hope.
What does that mean?
That despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
This is what theaters look like across the world, and it just keeps getting worse. The memes. Let's say that you were in a Hollywood movie, and the trailer for that movie dropped on YouTube, and it instantly became the #1 most downvoted trailer in the history of the platform.
The movie was absolutely terrible. It's not the single worst movie I've ever seen, but in every way that the movie differed from the beloved 1937 original, it was worse. This movie was like you took the original Snow White and just put everything through this filter. So from the casting to the class politics, it all was just bad.
Now, if there's one thing to glean from this, it's actually the sheer quality of the negative reviews. So let me read you some quotes. It says, "I paid nothing to watch the trailer, but I want my money."
Oh, that's nice. Nice job.
The movie has all kinds of problems that could be pinned partly on the producer. Like the producer did not do a good job. Nobody who produced this movie did a good job.
This is someone who is as entitled as, I don't need your business.
And if you disagree with this sentiment, just hit the unfollow button. I don't need your business.
You know what? Maybe Disney does. Maybe you're a tool, you're a pawn in this film. You didn't write it. You didn't direct it. You have nothing to do with the creation of Snow White. Right. You should shut up and do the job.
So the movie had all kinds of problems creatively and conceptually, but there's no doubt that she drove the final nail into this movie's coffin. She probably drove the final 2 or 3 nails into the coffin.
There's a reason why the public has shifted. If you can't avoid this movie, you absolutely should, because it's absolute trash.
Hello, Disney. You're going to have to redo your film again because this woman is a pig and you fired Gina Carano for far less than this nonsense.
I was referring to the movie as sand beige, and it was so noticeable off the top, but it's no really knock on her. If you did the autobiography of Malcolm X, would you cast Tom Hanks? If you remade Moana, would you cast a little Irish guy? No, you wouldn't. So that was off the top.
I know some people like this movie. Some people are stupid. Oops.
And I get it, there's a difference between spoiling and whatever, but to go out and badmouth everybody and talk smack about, older movies in the same franchise, the canon story, I guess?
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I feel like they would have had...
Breaking updates, very important.
She's also just a spoiled, entitled, narcissistic brat.
But I was basically the only person in the theater. Very few people wanted to see this. Even the little kids who like Disney movies, even they don't seem to be turning up in droves for the movie because the movie is really, really bad.
Rachel Zegler just had a full-blown meltdown after Snow White flopped harder than anyone ever expected. It was like watching a fairy tale crash and burn in slow motion. But instead of singing her way through it like a classic Disney princess, Rachel went full drama mode, stomping around, throwing shade, and making noise louder than a jackhammer at sunrise. People say her ego shot up faster than a rocket. And the moment the internet clapped back, boom, reality smacked her right in the face.
I think it's fair to say that no one can stand the star of this movie.
She continued celebrating herself by posting that she's in the #1 movie in the world, which is a remarkable thing to post when you are the laughingstock of an entire industry. This is what narcissism looks like. Narcissism for 200.
Now, ever since the debut of Snow White, it has been nothing more than a box office disaster, not just for the Walt Disney Company and Bob Iger as the CEO, but also for Rachel Zegler.
How it was so outdated and how Rachel Zegler disrespected the original and a classic from Walt Disney, something that completely saved Disney and changed the company and changed animation in general.
Because Rachel Zegler is a PR nightmare.
This is truly like, she has to go. I'm sorry, Disney. She has to go.
No soft landing, no magical escape, just a fast, messy fall from Hollywood's golden pedestal. And what came next? Let's just say it was a wild show. One actress, a pile of viral interviews, and a PR nightmare that turned Disney's beloved classic into one of the biggest disasters they've ever touched. Disney rolled out this remake like it was going to change the culture forever. They hyped it up like it was their big new era moment. Snow White, but make it 2025. Modern, bold, no true love's kiss, no fairy tale fluff. Because apparently, who wants magic and romance in a fairy tale anymore, right? They were so focused on scrubbing the old school charm, they forgot what made the original a classic in the first place. And then came Rachel Zegler, riding the high from her breakout musical, walking in like she was about to carry Disney on her back. They branded her as the perfect Snow White, charming, gifted, bursting with Gen Z vibes. But what they didn't expect, that same energy would blow up in their face. Before the trailer even dropped, Rachel hit the press circuit and turned every single interview into a cringe fest. From shade-throwing comments to weirdly smug takes on the original movie, she managed to flip the hype into pure backlash before audiences even saw a single scene. This wasn't just a movie gone wrong, it was a Hollywood case study in how not to promote a fairy tale reboot. Rachel came in hot, like the original Snow White personally did her dirty. She started dragging the 1937 version like it was some kind of ancient curse, called it creepy just because there was a prince involved, and straight up laughed at the idea of any romantic storyline. Like, okay girl, we get it, women don't need saving, but the way she came at it, it didn't sound like empowered queen. It gave more bitter threat energy from someone beefing with a cartoon. She wasn't just trying to refresh the message. Nah, she steamrolled it with the kind of attitude that screamed, I know better than everyone before me. Like she just cracked some big secret about fairy tales no one else could figure out. And while we're being real, this wasn't giving evolution. It was giving ego trip. Now hold up. Before we dive deeper into this Hollywood train wreck, let's just say this. Rachel didn't just bite the hand that fed her, she went full savage on it. Every press interview turned into a roast session. She sounded less like a Disney lead and more like someone doing a live reading of angry fan tweets. Except she was the one throwing the shade. Every single soundbite felt like a side-eye to the OG classic. She wasn't modernizing it. She was burning it to the ground with her smug little smirk. And just when you think it couldn't get messier, Disney kept pushing this whole bold and fresh angle like it was a flex. They promised fans a new vision, a powerful retelling for a new generation. But instead of upgrading the magic, they made it weird, like really weird. And the Seven Dwarfs? Gone. Swapped out for this random crew of forest-dwelling buddies. No iconic charm, no real explanation, just vibes. Like Disney said, let's roll the dice and hope no one notices. Spoiler, everyone noticed. These so-called forest buddies had people scratching their heads like, who are these mystery hikers? Nobody knew. Fans were straight up confused, critics weren't buying it, and Twitter went wild. The memes started flying faster than the box office could crash. And while everyone was side-eyeing the whole situation, Rachel kept that mic on, doubling down with more sarcasm, more smug grins, and a vibe that made it seem like she wasn't celebrating a classic. She was roasting her grandma's wedding photos like they were cringe. Then boom, the trailer dropped, and instantly, meme status. People were shook. Reactions ranged from awkward giggles to, what even is this? One YouTube comment hit the nail on the head. This feels like it was written by someone who hates fairy tales and has never read one. Ouch. That trailer didn't stand a chance. The dislike bar blew up so fast, it looked like a digital red carpet straight into chaos. And did Rachel take a breath? Maybe read the room? Not even close. She went full throttle. She posted that now infamous TikTok showing empty theaters as if it was something to flex. It wasn't giving clapback, it was giving flop era and proud. Fans were shook. Some thought she was being ironic. Most were just stunned she thought that was a win. One user dropped the now legendary comment, "Did you really post that?" But by then, it was too late. The screenshots were everywhere, the memes were eternal, and the moment was burned into internet history forever. Meanwhile, behind the curtain, Disney was spiraling. Panic mode activated. Execs were allegedly scrambling to fix this mess, but the damage was done. Budgets had already blown up. Marketing costs were flying higher than a CGI bluebird in one of Rachel's dreamy day scenes. And when premiere night finally hit, it wasn't glitz and glam, it was ghost town vibes. Some people even started calling it Hollywood's most expensive empty room. Theaters were so empty, it was spooky. You could literally hear the echo of disappointment bouncing off the walls in Dolby Surround. People were posting selfies with whole rows to themselves, like they'd rented out the place. One dude even joked he met more people waiting in the bathroom line than inside the actual theater. Yikes! Disney tried to spin it saying the movie was misunderstood. But let's be real, the only misunderstanding was how this whole mess got greenlit in the first place. Critics didn't hold back. They dragged the film for being more preachy than magical. Instead of storytelling, it felt like a lecture with glitter. Longtime Disney lovers were fed up. They weren't asking for a TED Talk. They wanted that classic fairy tale glow, some heart, some magic, and yeah, maybe even a prince or two. But what they got felt more like a checklist than a story. And then the whisper started. The industry grapevine was buzzing. Rachel was allegedly getting cut loose from gigs left and right. Pixar? Word is they scrapped her vocal cameo for Toy Story 5, which had the internal code name Spiral. Fitting, right? Then came the tea about her name being linked to a Pirates of the Caribbean reboot, until suddenly it wasn't. Just gone. Quietly erased. Her rise went from Hollywood's next big thing to let's put a pin in that. Online, they gave it a name, the Zegler effect. And if you typed self-sabotage into Google, people joked her side-eyeing TikTok thumbnail would be the first thing you'd see. Meanwhile, over at Disney HQ, pure chaos. CEO Bob Iger was already sweating. Theme park numbers were dipping, streaming profits were sliding, and now this Snow White disaster landed right on his plate like a melted sundae. This wasn't just a flop, it was the cherry on top of a PR meltdown that Disney couldn't wish away with a magic wand. Nobody asked for this. Critics were quick to call out the obvious. Disney got so wrapped up in pushing a message, they forgot the whole point was to tell a good story. And Rachel? She kept right on posting, like nothing was crumbling around her. Meanwhile, the marketing team was scrambling, rushing out last-minute promos and awkward TV spots like they were patching a sinking ship with digital duct tape. It all felt desperate, like someone handing out free movie tickets on a street corner, begging folks to care. But it was too late. The magic mirror shattered, and no evil witch had to lift a finger. All it took was one actress, one hot mic, and a mountain of misplaced ego. Things got so bad, even the biggest hype squads for the film started backing out slowly, pretending they never tweeted support in the first place. Some started saying, maybe the world just isn't ready for a progressive princess 2.0. But let's keep it real. It wasn't the message that flopped. It was Rachel's attitude that pushed people away. If she had just come out with a little humility, something like, we're modernizing Snow White but still honoring the original, fans might have given her a shot. But nah, she went full scorched earth, dragging the classic like it stole her spotlight. It wasn't reinvention, it was disrespect on a Disney stage. Now the whole situation's being used as the blueprint of what not to do when fame comes knocking, especially when you're handed a role tied to decades of fan love. Can Rachel bounce back? Maybe. Hollywood loves a comeback story. All it takes is a good apology, a gritty indie film, and a stylist who knows how to rebrand the narrative. But until then, this one's going down as one of the messiest meltdowns to ever hit a fairy tale flick. Right now, Rachel's talent, totally buried, suffocating under a mountain of memes, roasts, and interviews that make you cringe so hard your face hurts. Nobody's talking about her vocals or the fancy CGI. Nah. What stuck with people was the attitude, the smug vibes, the shade, the cocky sound bites that burned themselves into the internet's memory. And just like that, the chaos reignited one of the biggest debates out there. Has Disney completely lost the plot? Have they been so locked in on pushing messages that they forgot how to just tell a great story? From Hollywood panels to couch convos, folks were asking the same thing. Why mess with a classic if you're not bringing anything better to the table? Especially when that fix includes replacing 7 iconic dwarfs with random forest extras and casting a lead who couldn't stop talking trash about the very story she was supposed to bring to life. Like, come on, How does that even happen? Even veteran actors were watching this unfold like disappointed mentors. Back in the day, you had to earn the right to touch a legendary role. Really earn it. But now, a couple auditions, a trending moment, and suddenly you're out here telling Walt Disney's ghost that he didn't know what he was doing. Wild. The way Rachel went from rising star to viral punchline, it happened so fast it felt like a Hollywood speed run. All it took was a few careless words and an ego turned up to max volume. And now, anytime a young celeb gets too bold on a press tour, people throw out the warning, don't go full Zegler. Translation, don't trash your own project, alienate the fan base, and act like the world should be lucky you even showed up. That said, her story's not over. Hollywood loves a redemption arc. She could lay low for a year, come back humbled, and remind everyone she's got more to offer than just viral drama. But for now, she's stuck as the cautionary tale no one saw coming. For now, Rachel's name is locked in, etched deep into the burn book of Hollywood meltdowns. This whole saga, it's already legend. Acting coaches, PR reps, and crisis managers are out here using it as a case study. Once upon a time, there was an actress who turned a dream role into a disaster. It's basically modern folklore at this point. And here's the craziest part. The movie itself never even had a fighting chance. The off-screen drama swallowed everything before the opening credits could even roll. The plot, the visuals, the performances, didn't matter. The narrative got hijacked the moment Rachel picked up a mic and started running her mouth. Some folks still think this is just a bump in the road, that Rachel will be back with a perfectly lit apology video, shedding a few soft tears in front of a breezy window, maybe sipping some overpriced herbal tea. Others, they think she's already on that dreaded path toward the almost famous list. Those stars who had all the hype, then vanished into the streaming graveyard without a trace. Either way, Snow White has officially joined the ranks of Disney's biggest, what were they thinking? Moments. And the fans? Oh, they're still laughing. Because even if the movie didn't hit, the behind-the-scenes chaos was straight-up blockbuster level. The drama, the mess, the facepalms. It gave the internet everything it needed. And what's the moral of this twisted fairy tale? Sometimes, less is more. Sometimes just a little respect for what came before goes a long way. And sometimes, you just need to zip it until the movie is actually in theaters. But hey, don't go anywhere. Hollywood's full of flops, fame crashes, and press tour disasters so wild, even the managers are texting each other like, we might need witness protection for this one. So what do you think? Drop your take in the comments. Was Rachel's meltdown just a rough patch, or has she officially earned her spot in the Hall of Fame for Hollywood career flops? Let's hear it. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with your crew so they can witness the wild rise and epic fall of Disney's least enchanted princess. Keep those notifications on, because while this fairy tale might be fading out, in Hollywood, the drama never sleeps. Until next time, stay petty, stay locked in, and I'll see you on the next one.